Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. We've been talking about MJ, Michael Jordan, over the last 24 hours. And for those of you who may be new to the channel, my favorite basketball player of all time is Kobe Bryant. I have him number 3, ranked behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Jordan, right? I think MJ is the greatest player of all time for so many reasons. And I think that there are some people out there in sports media right now that know that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, but I think that they figured out the new hustle, which is to be a troll. Now, being a troll, I believe, can be a quite lucrative, endeavor, right? And there are a lot of people that are proving this. Essentially, being a troll is you take something that is well known and then you now argue the position against it, right? And then before you know it, you start to build a following. Because some people out there are easily influenced, even as adults, they can be influenced by other people just because they may have a big name or whatever. And we see this taking place all over the place. This Michael Jordan thing, I think we all knew that MJ was the greatest player of all time, but various interest groups now started to find various ways to come out there and say, oh, no, he's not the greatest. This person is greater, when they know in their heart that MJ is the greatest player of all time. And whenever you hear them speak about Michael Jordan in their candid moments, you can see the truth just seeping through them. And then you ask yourself, then why did this person get on television or go to this particular place and then still say Michael Jordan is not the greatest player of all time? It makes you wonder, well, what is the reason you're really doing this? Why am I bringing this up? We're talking about Shannon Sharpe. Now, Shannon Sharpe, as you guys know, is one of the biggest names in sports media, but he's also known as being an avid LeBron James supporter. But I and many people out there believe that Shannon, in his heart of hearts, actually believes that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. We truly believe this. And the reason why some of us believe this is because of some of the things that he said and some of the things that he's actually written about Michael Jordan. So what we want to do is, today we want to play some audio of Shannon Sharpe describing what it's like to meet Michael Jordan in person. And you begin to make the decision for yourself of whether or not you believe that this guy really thinks that there are other players out there, or there's another player out there that's better than Michael Jordan. Before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with over 28 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events every single day on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. And with the NFL and NBA season in full swing, SeatGeek has your tickets to every game. Now, here's the best part and the reason I absolutely love SeatGeek. They put all the tickets across the web in one place to make sure you are getting a good deal. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Every ticket is backed by the buyer's guarantee, and SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of the event. And we have great news for you because we got you guys a really, really good deal. Use code DREAMERSPRO for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code DREAMERSPRO. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. And remember, when you try SeatGeek by using the link in the description below, just know that you're helping this channel. So what we want to do is want to play a quick compilation of what Shannon Sharpe had to say while talking to Allen Iverson and other people and Jamal Crawford about the time he met Michael Jordan and how Jordan had his impact on him that no other athlete or celebrity has had ever. Take a listen for yourself.
That summer, I start going there, working out with him, playing with him. And he was just like, his aura, it was like a ghost.
He doesn't seem real, does he?
He don't seem real. He don't seem real. Think about that. Me and you both feel the same way. There's a million other people that feel the same way they see us. He don't look real.
He doesn't. The first time I met him, I'm looking at him and I know he thought I was crazy because it's like he was levitating. And I know you're not supposed to play reverence and you're not supposed to be blasphemous like this, but he's like a god. I mean,
really is.
People, if I can't explain it, and everybody else that's ever met him, even superstars from Shaq and to Jordan, Shaq to LeBron, everybody else that's ever met him has said the exact same thing, that he doesn't see real. It's like he's levitating.
It looks like there's white smoke around him. I promise you. It's something else.
Man, I'll never forget my first time. I talked about it in my Hall of Fame speech. And I wasn't lying at all, man. He didn't look real to me. Like, I know I was starstruck. I know I was starstruck because, like I said, I talked about the Charlie Murphy Hollywood stories,
right.
and he talked about Rick James and how Rick James walked in the room and he saw like the orange, like his aura.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I saw that. Like, I looked at that man and he didn't look human to me.
Yep.
I'm looking at him like, damn, he got on the Jordans. He don't even have on the NBA socks. I'm looking at his knee brace, on his shin. And I was like, man, it's him. You know what I mean? And my teammates, they teased me before the game because they was like, you're not going to play your game because, Mike on the floor, your idol going to be out there on the floor. You're not going to play your game tonight. And I was starstruck. But when that ball went up and somebody's hand touched it, it just went away. You know what I mean? It was showtime, time to dance.
That's what I tell people. The very first time I met him, I was on an elevator. He was on there with his first wife, Juanita, back in Atlanta, the Super Bowl. And I'm looking at him. And he probably looking at me like, this dude weird. I know who he is. He like, but look how he looking at me like, I'm like, he like he was levitating. He didn't look real. I like, man, this Michael Jordan. It was like, I'm talking about, it's the closest thing. In the Bible they talk about how the disciples they saw G, and they're like, he don't even look. To this day, every time I see him, he don't look real. I've never been like that with a man before in my life, and I've met some big time. I've seen Samuel Jackson, Denzel. Man, from Samuel Jackson to Denzel, LeBron, and Shaq, Kobe. But this, he when it comes to that, he apart. He ain't real.
I'm right there with you.
So you heard what Shannon Sharpe had to say there. Now, there was a tweet that was put out a number of years ago. Actually, this tweet was put out over 10 years ago. And this tweet was posted on Shannon Sharpe's Twitter, and it's still there. And it says, and I want to show it to you. This tweet was on 10:10 p.m., March 11, 2012. And it says, greatest basketball players of all time: God, Air Jordan, and Kobe, in that order. Let me repeat it once more. Greatest basketball players of all time: God, Air Jordan, Kobe, in that order. Now, some people say, well, things happen over time. What's interesting about that date is this. March 11, 2012, his favorite player, now he calls the GOAT, had already did what he did in the NBA Finals in 2011, so it was after that. LeBron was on his way to winning his first title. And since that point forward, he went on to win 4 championships. I think he won another MVP along the way, or 2 MVPs if I'm not mistaken. And then he went to get the scoring title and all of that. Now, here's what's interesting about this. And the reason why I believe Shannon Sharpe actually believes Jordan is the GOAT, but he's saying it because I don't know why he's saying it. Because 4 years later, LeBron won his 3rd ring. And Shannon then goes on television and they have a sit down between himself and Nick Wright and Skip Bayless and Chris Carter. And Nick Wright says that in 2016, LeBron passed Jordan, and Shannon Sharpe agreed with him. So for those of you who don't remember that conversation when Nick went up there and basically made his name out of trolling Jordan, take a listen to what Nick Wright had to say and listen to Shannon Sharpe's reaction, and then we'll come back and continue on with the show.
Nick, what would it take for LeBron to pass Jordan as the GOAT?
Get him, man.
All right, so if we're talking about accomplishments, he needs at least a couple more rings, probably 1 more MVP. But if we're talking about accomplishments, Jordan's not the GOAT, it's Kareem. And if it's not Kareem, it's probably Russell. So we're not really talking about accomplishments, we're talking about who's the best. Who's the best? One game to decide your life. Who do you want in all-time history? So for LeBron to pass Jordan, he needs a time machine to go back about 11 months when he passed him the first time. LeBron's been the best player ever since about midway point of Game 6 of last year's finals, and all he's done since then is continue that. He's on the greatest streak in postseason history since Dre called him the B word and Clay said his feelings were hurt. He's played 16 games. His team's 15-1, giving you 34, 9, 8, and 55% shooting. And when we're just comparing the two players, LeBron averages more rebounds, assists, blocks, steals than Jordan. Shoots a better percentage from 2, shoots a better percentage from 3, is the more versatile defender, can guard all 5 positions. He can do everything Jordan could do, but better. So what does he need to do to pass Michael Jordan? He already done passed Michael Jordan as far as who's the best player ever.
So you heard what Nick Wright said. So remember, Shannon believes LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. And we're trying to figure out, okay, what happened between 2012 and 2016 to make you feel that? Because remember, he said Jordan was only behind God and right next to Kobe just 4 years prior. Well, let's look at it. LeBron goes on to win 3 championships. He has the greatest comeback in NBA history. And because of that, you said that he's now better than Michael Jordan. But we have a problem. We have a very serious problem, and I'll tell you why. Because after LeBron won his 3rd championship, when Shannon Sharpe used to argue with Skip Bayless on television, Skip was talking about how he found it disrespectful that if, for the fact that LeBron had lost all of these championships, and Shannon Sharpe was saying that he was on the same breath as Michael Jordan. And Shannon said, if LeBron loses another finals, he will never be better than Michael Jordan. And then he went on to lose another finals. And he still said he was better. So for those of you who don't remember that exchange, we want to quickly play some of that, and then we'll come back and give you guys our closing thoughts. Take a listen to that.
Skip, how did this finals impact LeBron's legacy?
I'm amused by this question this morning because I tweeted last night as I watched LeBron walk off the floor and up the tunnel. He looked happy to me. In defeat, he looked relieved because, as he said there, I got nothing to be ashamed of. I left it all on the floor. But what he knows is he averaged a triple-double. So now all the Walking Dead apologists will be able to say, he averaged a triple-double, he averaged a triple-double, and the blind witnesses, such as the leader of the witnesses sitting across from me, Shannon Sharpe, we will be able to say, he averaged a triple-double, he averaged a triple-double. So I'm sure I'm going to hear today on the rest of this show that LeBron actually enhanced, he bettered his legacy by averaging a triple-double in a finals that his team lost in 5 games. But let's get this straight. Obviously, he hurt his legacy, not dramatically, but significantly, because he fell to 3-5 in finals. And those 5 losses include getting swept, that was his first finals, losing by a record margin in 5 games to my Spurs, then losing in 5 in these finals when he was at fault for blowing the 7-point lead with 3 minutes left in Game 3 in his palace, the King's Palace. And, of course, I have to mention that he did suffer the all-time superstar meltdown when he disappeared in games 4, 5, and 6 against the Dallas Mavericks in his first finals for the Miami Heat. And then I also have to mention that in 2013, after he came apart down the stretch with 3 turnovers in the last 3 minutes and missed the game-tying 3, Ray Allen saved his legacy at that point, which could have another big L on it. It could be 2-6 without the greatest clutch shot I ever saw. So, bottom line, I think in LeBron's heart of hearts, he knows that one thing is over. He is never going to catch and pass Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Are you willing, Shannon Sharpe, to admit that today? Is that over?
I said that. I said the thing that losing this final would do, it would probably, unless he comes back, beats this team a couple of times the way it's assembled now, then we're going to have the conversation again.
Boy, that's a tall order at this point. When he looked gassed to me in several games of this finals, is he still going to play the most minutes in the NBA in his 15th season and come back and right the wrong of losing to Golden State in 5 games?
He's going to do whatever is necessary to win.
Okay. So to me, it is over. It's done. It's history. He will never catch and pass a guy who went 6-0 in NBA Finals with 6 MVPs. And I will give all the blind witnesses this. If you just want to use your eye test and say, oh, well, all around LeBron's a better player than Michael, he's a better passer. He's a little better rebounder. I give you that.
He's the best all-around player of all time, Skip. Stop telling dilly-dally. Don't stick your toe in. Jump in the water.
No, I'm not going to jump in because the greatest big stage clutch performer, the greatest winner I ever observed, and I had the privilege of observing him up close in 1998 in Chicago, was Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So on the biggest stage in the key moments, you could always trust that Michael was going to rise to the occasion instead of shrink from the occasion. And too often, even in these finals, Game 1, second quarter, 6 turnovers. Game 2, second half, disengaged. Game 3, down the stretch, minute and a half left. Got the ball in your hands in a 4-point lead. You don't attack. And then last night, for that long stretch, 9 minutes of the second quarter, you get outscored 36-11 and you take only 2 shots. I don't know. Those are big, key, crucial moments. I gave LeBron maybe too much credit going in because I thought it would be a 7-game series and he was going to have to come up bigger in key moments.
So you heard that. To me, I don't believe Shannon Sharpe believes Michael Jordan's not the greatest player ever. Did you hear how he just described what it was like to meet Jordan? The question then becomes, why is that? Why were you having such an experience when you met Michael Jordan? Do you think you would have been having this outer body experience had Michael Jordan not accomplished what he did? Had you not had closets and closets full of Jordans? Well, obviously not. So something in you was telling you, man, this is the greatest player of all time. This right here, the greatest player of all time. And to me, in my heart of hearts, I do not believe that Shannon Sharpe believes that there's another basketball player better than Michael Jordan. I don't believe that. I believe that he's saying this because it's beneficial to him, and there are other people out there that would want to eat this up. Gilbert Arenas, who we chat with from time to time, does not believe that Michael Jordan's not the great. He believes that Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time. I've asked him this on numerous occasions. I've asked him flat out, who do you think is the greatest player of all time? He'll say Michael Jordan. He'll say it. I've even asked him, who do you think is better between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James? He'll say Kobe Bryant. He'll make up arguments for, I'm not sure if he'll say Kobe Bryant, but I asked him, I said, no, he asked me to explain what I think makes Kobe better, and I explained to him. He didn't dispute the point. I believe half of the guys out there that are saying this don't believe what they're saying, including Nick Wright. I think Nick Wright has conveniently convinced himself that, LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. Because in 2012, Nick Wright said on Twitter, and I want to show it to you now, he says, since ESPN is doing it, I'll post mine. MJ number 1, Magic number 3, Russell number 4, Kobe number 6. To be fair, he's kept it consistent with that. Duncan number 7, Wilt number 8, Bird number 9, West number 10, West number 9 or something, Ty, Hakeem, and Shaq. And then in 2016, LeBron jumped Kobe, Wilt, Kareem, Russell, Magic, MJ to go to number 1 in 4 years? Really, Nick Wright? And then Jordan dropped the 3? But I thought you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 3. The things that make you say, Today we're going to be getting into the investigative aspect of sports media now that it's becoming so watered down with all type of nonsense. I think it's time for us to get back into the nitty gritty of putting out quality content. Where am I heading? Where am I going with all of this? As you guys know, I'm a huge Kobe guy, but I'm one of those people that agrees that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I'm also one of those people that is come to the conclusion that I'm not going to be saying things out here just because I want to pander to particular groups to make money. There are a lot of people in sports media that say things because it is beneficial to them. And one of the biggest hustles in sports media, especially in the NBA sector, is to troll Michael Jordan. That is the biggest hustle going. The biggest hustle. If you want to make a name for yourself in sports media, troll Michael Jordan. Say Michael Jordan is not the greatest player of all time. And then what happens is people that have sense will now come out and say, wait, what did he just say? What the hell did he just say? And in the minute you do that, you've now generated a conversation. You generate views. There's a lot of money in being wrong. That's something that Marcellus Wiley once said. And a lot of people in sports media, not Marcellus Wiley. I think it was Dan Le Batard. He said there's a lot of money in being wrong. And a lot of people have been able to make millions and millions of dollars of being trolls. You take a position that everyone agrees, and then you now become the person that argue against that. And before you know it, you make a name for yourself. All you got to do is put on a suit, have a big beard, look serious, and have a large vocabulary. And you're going to be easily able to convince a lot of people. The next thing you know, you have a bunch of sheep following you all over the place going bad. And that's exactly where we are. What am I going to? As you guys know, Nick Wright made his name on sports television when he made his big debut in 2016, or I believe it was 2015 or 16, when he went on Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe at the time, where he essentially went out there and dropped a bombshell where he said that in 2016, LeBron James had eclipsed Michael Jordan as the greatest player of all time. For those of you who don't remember this buffoonery that took place on TV, we actually want to play it for you today. But before we even get into Nick Wright's comments, this video is brought to you by a brand new sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with over 28 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events every single day on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. And with the NFL and NBA season in full swing, SeatGeek has your tickets to every game. Now, here's the best part and the reason I absolutely love SeatGeek. They put all the tickets across the web in one place to make sure you are getting a good deal. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Every ticket is backed by the buyer's guarantee, and SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of the event. And we have great news for you because we got you guys a really, really good deal. Use code DREAMERSPRO for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code DREAMERSPRO. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. And remember, when you try SeatGeek by using the link in the description below, just know that you're helping this channel. So what we want to do is want to quickly play what Nick Wright had to say that day on television, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Nick Wright here.
Nick, what would it take for LeBron to pass Jordan as the GOAT?
Get him,
all right, so if we're talking about accomplishments, he needs at least a couple more rings, probably one more MVP. But if we're talking about accomplishments, Jordan's not the GOAT, it's Kareem. And if it's not Kareem, it's probably Russell. So we're not really talking about accomplishments. We're talking about who's the best. Who's the best? One game to decide your life. Who do you want in all-time history? So for LeBron to pass Jordan, he needs a time machine to go back about 11 months when he passed him the first time. LeBron's been the best player ever since about midway point of Game 6 of last year's finals, and all he's done since then is continue that. He's on the greatest streak in postseason history since Dre called him the B word and Clay said his feelings were hurt. He's played 16 games. His team's 15-1, giving you 34, 9, 8, and 55% shooting. And when we're just comparing the two players, LeBron averages more rebounds, assists, blocks, steals than Jordan. Shoots a better percentage from 2, shoots a better percentage from 3, is the more versatile defender, can guard all 5 positions. He can do everything Jordan could do, but better. So what does he need to do to pass Michael Jordan? He already done past Michael Jordan as far as who's the best player ever.
So you heard what Nick Wright had to say. Sounds pretty convincing, right? I mean, this guy could really win an Oscar. You would really believe that he actually believes that Michael Jordan is not the greatest player of all. I mean, that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. But then we have a problem. We have a very, 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 very serious problem. Why do I say this? Well, let's get into the history books. Now, mind you, some people out there they're not going to like this because we're using too much, facts and some people are going to take issue with this particular list here. But I'm going to get into this list quickly. As you guys know, Nick Wright recently came out there and trolled the hell out of the sports world about a year or so ago when he came out with his top 50 players in the last 50 years. And I want to see if I can pull up his top. No, these are his top. Let me see. Top 10. Oh, here we go. So at number 1, he has LeBron James. At number 2, he has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At number 3, he has Michael Jordan. At number 4, he has Magic Johnson. At number 5, he has Tim Duncan. At number 6, he has Kobe Bryant. Number 7, he has Larry Bird. Number 8, he has Akeem Olajuwon. Number 9, he has Shaq. And number 10, he has Stephen Curry. This was a Fox Sports article. You guys can hunt it down if you want to go look for it. It's out there. Just type in Nick Wright, first things first, top 50 NBA basketball players. You'll see that. Sounds pretty convincing, right? He believes that LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. But however, we have a problem. We have a very, very serious problem because someone responded to a Nick Wright tweet that he put out back in July of he put out in February 7th of 2012. Now, I want you guys to listen to, I want to show you guys this tweet. He said, since ESPN is doing it, I will post mine again. 1, Michael Jordan. 2, Magic Johnson. 3, Bill Russell. 4, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 5, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 5, Kobe Bryant. 6, Tim Duncan. 7, Will Chamberlain. 8, Jerry West. Or Bird, I'm sorry, and then Ty, Shaq, and Hakeem for 10. I'm not sure how he did this. But in that list, you can see that he has Michael Jordan at number 1. This was in 2012. Now, it's February 2012, which means that LeBron was on his way to winning his first championship in June. So LeBron wins his first championship that year. The following year, he wins another championship. He's now at 2. Then he doesn't win another championship because the Spurs get them back. And then I think the Golden State Warriors win that championship in 2015. And then the Cavaliers win the championship in 2016. And in a 4-year window, here's what happened to Nick Wright's list. You had Jordan number 1, you had Magic at number 2, you had Russell at number 3. In 4 years, LeBron, who was not even in the top 10, catapults to number 1. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is quite interesting, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who he originally had ranked at, I believe, number 4, if I'm not mistaken, he goes to number 2. Fantastic. Then Michael Jordan, who was number 1, he drops to number 3, and then the other players start moving around. Now, the question becomes this, because what some of these guys will say, and these guys are very, very poor at reasoning, they'll say, well, new information came out, so you should be allowed to change your position. Here's the problem. New information came out about LeBron and LeBron only. But all the other information you had about all of those other players remained the same. Help me figure it out. Did Michael Jordan play a basketball game in the last 20 years? Has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played a basketball in the last 20 years? Has Magic Johnson played a basketball game in the last 20 years? Has Bill Russell played a basketball game? I don't think any of these guys have been playing basketball. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys can help me figure it out. Maybe y'all know. But the last time I checked, these guys have not played basketball. So let me ask you a question. Then how did Michael Jordan drop the 3? And number 2, how is it that what LeBron accomplished in a 4-year window became better than what Jordan accomplished in his career? You can quickly begin to see that if you look at this with a critical eye, you'll quickly realize that you guys are being trolled. And the vast majority of you that gobble this up are morons. Y'all are being played for boo-boo the fool. These guys don't believe what they're saying. Not one of them. This is one example. The other reason I believe that is because whenever you then question them to explain their position, none of them have any good arguments. None of them. What they know, however, is there's a lot of money in trolling Michael Jordan. Why do I say this? You see, there's a misconception that exists out there, which is this. If you want to get views, talk about LeBron. Now, here's the irony in this. Do you want to know the irony in all of this? The very people that say that if you want to make money, for example, on YouTube, by talking about LeBron, they themselves cannot make money about talking about LeBron. These are LeBron James strippers, twerkers, twerking it up all over. They themselves, they can produce content for the next 10 years. And they will never get a video when they get 100,000 views on a LeBron video. Ever. Ever. It's amazing. People are talking about our views are going down. Somebody that can get 5 views in 12 hours is talking about our views are going down. This is the alternate reality we live in. This is unreal. And these people believe, oh, they're saying something. Look, his views are down. My boy, son, you don't even know how many views we get a day. What's your views? You can't be talking with 2,800 views in 24 hours or in 48 hours and talking about we don't get views. How? How does it work? So if I can't get views, then what are you doing? What are you doing? But this, nevertheless, this is the reason that these people apply whenever they try to talk about this thing. Listen, these guys don't believe what they say. I don't believe it. I don't believe it because none of this makes any good sense. Since you guys have been following this channel, I've always said Kobe Bryant's my favorite player. Since you guys have been following this channel, Michael Jordan has been the greatest player ever. Since you guys have been following this channel, I thought Kobe Bryant was the third greatest player of all time. Nothing has happened. For you to be moving all of these players around to find a way to put LeBron at number one, knowing that these guys have not been playing basketball, when you're talking about new information came out only about LeBron. And so so wait, hold on, let me figure this out. What LeBron accomplished in 4 years made him better than Michael Jordan? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what was LeBron even able to? Was he even able to three-peat in that period? No. So why is he better than Michael? What happened? He won he won 3 championships in a four-year window, whatever it is. So that put him ahead of Jordan. The insincerity has to stop. But nevertheless, they're going to be making a lot of money off you dweebs in the comment section and the cornballs in the back because a lot of people are going to buy into this. A lot of people are going to buy. But what I believe is that these guys don't believe it. And I think they found a lucrative way of making a lot of money off of people that are quite gullible. Y'all are the fools here. Y'all are the ones. And for the people, again, that believe that we cannot get views off of LeBron, what I ask you to do is please link 10 videos that you got 20,000 views on LeBron James. Show me the way. Show me how to do it. Show me how to get these views, since y'all know. I'll be waiting. I will be waiting. See y'all later. Well, I'll see y'all later. Y'all always here. I don't need to see y'all later. Y'all always here.